Hope all the council is here. I call to order the Eastpointe City Council regular meeting on Tuesday, April 20th, 2021 at 7 p.m. We always start all our meetings with an invocation led by Councilwoman Sarah Lucido, and then we continue with our Pledge of Allegiance. Councilwoman, please.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
Dear God, tonight we ask you to inspire us to continue to seek fairness and justice. We ask that you bless us with the vision to see the wrongs that are in the need of righting. We ask that you bless us with the wisdom needed to guide our actions. And we ask for the courage to carry out those actions in service of justice. Help us to listen to those that we do not yet understand. Help us to care about those who do not yet understand us. Help us to strengthen the feeling of community in our great city and help us to reach our highest ideals. It is in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States
of America
and to the
to the
republic
republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. Can you please call the roll?
Evening.
Good evening.
Councilmember Curley.
Here, Eastpointe.
Councilmember DeMonico.
Here, Eastpointe.
Councilmember Lucido.
Here, Eastpointe.
Councilmember Moore.
Here in Eastpointe.
Mayor Owens.
Here in Eastpointe. Next is the approval of the agenda. Would any council like to add or subtract at this time?
Madam Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to add an item F under new business, and that's the approval for the Memorial Day Parade for the city to cover the expenses of DPW and the police.
I would support that.
And I would also like to add on item G, just a brief conversation about the medical marijuana ordinance.
Again, support.
So I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with those two added items.
Okay. With motion and support by Councilman Curley, please call the roll.
Councilmember Lucido.
Yes.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico.
Yes.
Councilmember Moore.
Yes.
Mayor Owens.
Yes. Thank you. Next is the hearing of the public, which the public gets 3 minutes, and then you get an additional 3 minutes closer to the end of the meeting. This is welcome to all residents, as well as guests and visitors in our city. And we ask you to be polite, courteous, because we have all ages that listen to this public meeting. So now is the hearing of the public. Can you please open it, Ms. Walton, for me?
Yes, Nicholas Banchin would like to speak first.
Okay, good evening. Hold on 1 second, make sure I time you. Okay, sir.
Good evening, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
Thank you very much for allowing me to be here today, Council and the Mayor. My name is Nicholas Bashand. I'm a representative of Official Towing. We had the opportunity to bid on the towing services contract that's going to be before you today during new business. And we thank you for the opportunity to bid on it. I hope that you had the opportunity to look at our bid and our strategic pricing proposal that provides for a great savings to all Eastpointe residents. The company has been in business for over 30 years and has done a wonderful job for other municipalities that surround the city of Eastpointe. And we're just happy to be able to provide a bid. And should you need our services, we'd love to work for you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else would like to speak at this time?
And looking for hands. I don't see any hands raised, and there's nothing. Oh, Loretta Darnell would like to speak next.
Okay, good evening.
I gotta help her unmute. Loretta, you're still muted. There we go.
How am I now?
You're okay.
Okay, good evening.
I'll try. Good evening. This is my first council meeting. Pleased to be here. My issue is not simple. Last summer and fall, I noticed problems in my backyard in the form of rats. And I got a pest control company to come out, and they have been treating the areas. However, there's still strong activity. And when I called the pest company, they said, well, it's kind of becoming systemic in the neighborhood. In fact, Eastpointe has a problem totally with rodents. So I just want to go on record as saying, I hope that the city of Eastpointe could take a strong lead in helping residents rid the area of rodents. I said to the pest company, why am I paying you if they're not going away? And he says, because it is so prevalent, they're going back and forth. So that's my story. And I just wanted, that's what I was told I need to do, is to come to city council. Thank you for hearing me.
Yes, ma'am. And welcome to your first council meeting.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Keep coming.
I'll try to.
Okay, unless we have to send another rep just to get you back on here.
What's that?
Unless we have to send another rep to your house just to get you back on here.
Oh.
We'll have to do that, do we? Okay.
Well, will this go on record like as part of something that you guys, as the council, you will take under consideration?
Absolutely. We're taking notes right now.
Okay.
And we look into it right now as we speak, taking notes, and we're going to handle the problem tomorrow.
Okay.
See what's going on. Yeah. That's what we do. We get right on top of it. Anybody else? Thank you again.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
I don't see anything in the chat, and there are no hands raised, Mayor.
Okay, well, thank you, Ms. Walton. We're gonna close this part of the hearing of the public. If people don't want to speak at the second part, then you're welcome to speak then. So we're gonna go straight right along to approval of the minutes.
Madam Mayor?
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of them, so I'll take the first couple, then we can all share. But the first one, I would move that we approve the minutes of the regular meeting of March 16th, 2021.
I'll support that. And I had one change for this first set of minutes.
Okay.
If I could, or actually two changes. One of the motion at the bottom of page 2 is not correct about the electric vehicles. We can just make sure to fix that. And then the motion about appointing Cassandra Ford, just change reappointment to appointment. And that's all.
All right, okay.
Okay, then Madam Mayor, I would ask to approve the minutes with the changes that Cardi has made.
Okay. Motion is supported. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico?
Yes.
Councilmember Lucido?
Yes.
Councilmember Moore?
Yes.
And Mayor Owens?
Yes.
And the next one, Madam Mayor, I would move to approve the minutes of the March 23rd, a special meeting of March 23rd, 2021.
Support.
Motion is support. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico?
Yes.
Councilmember Moore?
Yes.
Mayor Owens?
Yes.
Councilmember Lucido?
Yes. Madam Mayor, I'll motion to approve the special meeting minutes of March 29th, 2021.
Support.
Motion is support. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Lucido?
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico?
Yes.
Councilmember Moore?
Yes.
Mayor Owens?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Madam Mayor, I'll motion to approve the special meeting minutes of March 31st, 2021.
Support.
Motion is support. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Lucido?
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico?
Yes.
Mayor Owens?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Councilmember Moore?
Yes.
Item E.
Madam Mayor, I'll motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of April 6th, 2021.
Support.
Motion is support. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Lucido?
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Councilmember Moore,
Yes.
Mayor Owens.
Yes. Moving right along, item F.
Madam Mayor, I'll approve the special meeting minutes of April 15th, 2021.
Support.
Motion is supported. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Lucido,
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Councilmember Moore,
Yes.
Mayor Owens.
I'm going to abstain. I wasn't at this meeting. Okay, moving right along. We have no scheduled hearings. Go right along to unfinished business, starting with the second reading and adoption of ordinance number 21-1211 to amend the codified ordinances of the city of Eastpointe by replacing section 2-525 with new section 2-525 entitled City Fee Schedule for Public Records and City Services and Programs.
Madam Mayor,
Yes,
I would move to accept the second reading to and adopt ordinance number 21-1211, which amends the codified ordinance of the city of Eastpointe by replacing section 2-525 with a new section 2-525 entitled City Fee Schedule for Public Records and City Services and Programs.
I'll support that.
Motion is supported. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley, Councilmember Curley,
Yeah.
Councilmember
Yes.
DeMonico,
Yes.
Councilmember Lucido,
Yes.
Councilmember Moore,
Yes.
Mayor Owens.
Yes. Next item under unfinished business is the second reading and adoption of ordinance number 21-1212 to amend section 2-525 of the Code of Ordinances regarding fee schedules. Fee schedule under police. Council.
Madam Mayor, I recommend a motion to move to give for the second reading to adopt ordinance number 21-1212, which amends section 2-525 of the Code of Ordinances regarding fee schedule, the fee schedule under police.
Support.
Motion is supported. Please call the roll, please.
Councilmember Moore,
Yes.
Councilmember Lucido,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley, Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Mayor Owens,
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico.
Yes.
Now we're going to reports from administration, starting with our city manager, Ms. Doon. Good evening, Ms. Doon.
Good evening, Madam Mayor. I just have a few things this week. I'd like to share with you that Ms. Walton and I met with a number of our vendors who provide services for us throughout the community, especially in parks and grass mowing and maintenance along, our roadways and picking up trash. And we just wanted a real opportunity to sit down and have a clear understanding of our expectations. Of course, we didn't realize that the grass cutting would quickly turn into snow plowing. So it seems like we've gone back quite a few feet this time. So, but I will say that our vendors were out today and they were already putting down salt and tackling things. So they're on top of it, even though we've had a quick season flip on us. I'd also like to share that several of us met with AEW to talk about the phase 1 portion of the 9 Mile Road reconstruction and taking a look at all of the maps that we have, the aerials, as to where we can make improvements, whether they are through curb cuts, walkways, crosswalks, lighting. We're just looking at everything as to how can we give the best possible product for what we can afford. We would like to have everything under the sun, but we certainly can't afford it all. But we're really intent on making sure that this is a good project. As one of the folks had mentioned, it'll be a long time before 9 Mile sees another reconstruction. It'll be many, many years. So we want to do the best we can and make it as right as we can for our community. So as council knows, there are 2 phases to the 9 Mile reconstruction. One coming up, and then after that first phase from the west heading east and up to Gratiot, and then Gratiot to 94 will be our second phase. So we had an opportunity to really take a good look at the businesses, the parking, the roadways, what's available, what isn't available, how do we make it better? So, and I'd like to share, again, this is more for our community, but than our council, because you all know, we have a new website, and all of us have taken the necessary training to understand how to use it. It's very user-friendly. It will be far more flexible and receptive than our old one was. We'll be able to get information out to the community faster. We'll be able to post more quickly, and we'll have a section for all of our elected officials for information that you may like to share, a biography or photos, just so that the community can turn to our website and really know who we are, who you are, and have the right access to reach all of us. I know the mayor is very good about giving out my email, asking people to reach out to me. Miss Loretta, I see you're still on there. If you would also reach out to me with your address, you can email me. It's edum@eastpointecity.org, or you can find it on our website.
I'm sorry, I missed the email.
Sure, it's edoom, D-O-O-M, @eastpointecity.org. But I'm also on the website, so you can find us that way, or you can call City Hall. So we will do everything we can to work with our residents and with the issues that you have. And that's what I have for today. Thank you very much, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Do you have any questions for our city manager from our council?
I have one item, Mayor.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Sorry.
Thanks first, Elke, for the website and 9 Mile update. I'm very excited about both of those.
Mm-hmm.
One thing though that I've noticed, well, I noticed personally last week, and then I've seen a whole slew of residents mention it now on Facebook, is that their yard waste was put in with their garbage. Can we follow up with GFL about that? They shouldn't be mixing the two. We're paying for the yard waste to be composted, not thrown in a landfill. So if we could contact them about that, I'd appreciate it at least.
Yeah, I will, and then I'll give council a report.
Okay.
And what I hear from them.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Is our public safety director on here?
Yes, he is.
Hi.
Good evening, Mayor.
Good evening. Can you give us an update? I know we get the updates from our city manager, but it's always best to hear from the man who handles it himself on a day-to-day. So let us know what some good things and be nice about the bad things. Tell us what's going on.
The good thing is we're keeping crime in check. We had a house fire last week. Our firefighters did an outstanding job containing that fire. We're hiring 2 police officers right now. We're going to be looking at hiring a firefighter in the next probably week or so. We have a new animal control officer. She's full-time. She's doing a great job. And we're going to have a new code enforcement officer soon. So a lot of things are going on. We're just getting things done here, Mayor.
Okay, any questions for our director? How the body camera's coming along? Everything is all connected and done and good?
Everything's working great. The quality's outstanding.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Moving right along to our finance director, Mr. Blum. Good evening, Mr. Blum.
Council. Good evening. I don't have any specific topics, but I would like to mention that I have one new full-time employee that started Monday. One of our part-time cashiers is now a full-time clerk. And then I have another individual that will be starting in a couple weeks. Because of that, I actually need 2 part-time cashiers. So if anybody's listening, knows anybody that's good with math and wants to work Monday through Thursday, have them apply, because I need bodies. we're competing with everybody else out there looking for help wanted. So that's all I actually have tonight.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for our finance director? None. Moving right along to our city attorney, Mr. Albright. Good evening.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of council. Just a couple of items to go over for everyone. Suzanne Todd with the library had requested that I draft a resolution regarding library millage renewal proposal for the November ballot. I've gone ahead and drafted that resolution. Suzanne informed me this afternoon that the library board approved the language. And so that resolution to approve ballot question language for library millage renewal proposal will be before the city council at the May meeting for approval. Once approved, then that will then be processed and it will be then on the ballot for the November election. With regard to medical marijuana, I know that Mayor Pro Tem Lucido touched on this and added an agenda item. I did meet with Kim Homan last week regarding some proposed changes that would also reflect a scoring component to the regulatory portion of the city's ordinance. In particular, this covers section 10.230, which provides for the application for and renewal of permits. Over the weekend, I did work on that language for the ordinance revisions. I have sent that to Ms. Holman. She has made some changes, which she sent to me for review. I intend on circulating a copy of this proposed ordinance language changes by the end of this week, and we'll be asking that be added as an agenda item for the next regularly scheduled city council meeting. And finally, as I reported last time, the state of Michigan has implemented new policies and procedures governing traffic and criminal matters and how those cases are handled by both the police department and the prosecutor's office and the courts. The process essentially involves the police officer who makes an arrest, preparing a complaint, a warrant, and a summons, along with the supporting documentation, emailing that information to our office to review the matter and ultimately authorize or not authorize the complaint and the summons. I will be providing the council within the next couple of days just an overview of that process in case the council has any questions, but so far the system has been working very well. That's all I have, Madam Mayor. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions for our city attorney at this time? Seeing none, thank you. Seeing none, moving right along to new business, the bid award for towing services contract.
Sure, Madam Mayor, I'll motion to award the 2021 towing services bid contract to Woods Towing and Services for a period of 3 years and to authorize the city manager to execute all necessary documents related to this bid award.
Support.
Okay, motion and support. Please call the roll.
Councilmember DeMonico?
Yes.
Councilmember Lucido?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Councilmember Moore?
Yes.
Mayor Owens?
Yes. Thank you. Next item is a bid award for Roxana Street reconstruction.
Madam Mayor, I'll motion to award the Roxana Street reconstruction project to the low bidder, Metropolitan Concrete Incorporation of Sterling Heights, Michigan, for the prices stated in its bid dated March 23rd for an estimated amount of $342,062.75, plus a 10% or $34,206.28 contingency, for an estimated total construction amount of $376,269.03.
Support.
And support.
Motion is supported. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Lucido?
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico?
Yes.
Councilmember Moore?
Yes.
Mayor Owens?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Next item is the proclamation for Arbor Day 2021. Go ahead and read that. Go to the page. I can find it. Okay. The city of Eastpointe is doing a proclamation today for Arbor Day. And whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees. And whereas the holiday called Arbor Day was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska. And whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world. And whereas trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cut heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable source, giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. And whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Now, therefore, we, the City Council for the City of Eastpointe, do hereby proclaim April 30th, 2021 as Arbor Day, and that all residents are urged to celebrate Arbor Day and support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands and plant trees to gladden the heart and promote the well-being of this and future generations. Okay. Need a motion on that.
I'll move we accept that proclamation.
Support.
Motion and supported. Please call the roll.
Councilmember DeMonico?
Yes.
Councilmember Lucido?
Yes.
Mayor Owens?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Councilmember Moore?
Yes.
The next item is item D, discussion and possible adoption of resolution number 21-1922, ballot question language for city charter amendments, establishing a primary election for the nomination of the office of mayor. Council.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
I would move to adopt resolution number 21-1922 for ballot question language for city charter amendments establishing a primary election for the nomination of the office of mayor.
Support.
Motion is supported. Please call the roll.
Mayor?
Oh, yes.
If I could just make a comment on this. So I thought about this for a while after our last meeting. We've, of course, had the two discussions, one on ranked choice voting and then one on this mayoral primary. And I think personally, to me, it just doesn't make sense to me to have one and not the other. So I'm actually not in favor of this unless we reverse on ranked choice voting. But clearly there wasn't support for that at the last meeting. We didn't even put a question on the ballot. And I think the only way we'd extend that is through the city council agreeing with the Department of Justice to do so. So that's my feeling right now, that I'd be voting no on this.
We have motion and support. Please call the roll. Thank you, Councilman.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Councilmember Lucido?
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico?
No.
Councilmember Moore?
Yes.
Mayor Owens?
No. Next item is item E, the Civil Service Board appointment.
Madam Mayor, I will motion to appoint Thomas Hayes to the Civil Service Board as the employee representative for a term that ends April 15th, 2023.
Support.
Motion is supported. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Lucido?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Councilmember Moore?
Yes.
Mayor Owens?
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico?
Yes.
Next item is approval of the DPW and the approval of the Memorial, the Memorial Day Parade with the approval that the city pays for the DPW employees. Did you want to talk more on that?
Yes, Madam Mayor, I will speak a little bit on this. So normally this would get approved with the, when we approve the application, but it was my mistake because I added it to the agenda wrong. So I wanted to just make sure that it was clarified. The last few years, it's been really hard for the parade committee, and especially this year due to COVID, to raise the funds for the Memorial Day parade. So the past few years, the city has paid for DPW, for the cost of the DPW and the police. So I just wanted to seek that approval tonight to make sure that that funding was covered. The Knights of Columbus will be covering the insurance, so we don't have to cover that. It's just the cover of the DPW and the police, and I can make that motion if anyone has any questions.
I have a comment, but I want to wait for the motion first.
Okay. Madam Mayor, I will motion for the City Council to approve to cover the costs of the DPW and police for the Memorial Day parade.
Support.
Motion is supported. Please call the roll.
Matt, oh, go ahead. That's good.
You sure?
No, I'm just gonna make a comment that this is not a go broke city if we support this. This is an opportunity to bring out, bring out a lot of people that are anxious to, I can't, go ahead. Call the roll.
Okay, call the roll. Get some water. Hope you're okay. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Lucido?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Councilmember Moore?
No.
Mayor Owens?
No.
Councilmember DeMonico?
Yes.
Next item is the medical marijuana ordinance. Councilwoman Lucido wants to speak more on this. Councilwoman, you have the floor.
So I added this to the agenda tonight because I know that we asked for it to be added and it wasn't on the agenda, but after hearing Mr. Albright saying that's going to be added to the next agenda, I would be fine with tabling this until the next agenda if the rest of the council agrees.
I agree too. So we'll have this table and I'm sorry, Councilman.
Oh, I just had one comment if I could before we do that. I guess to me, well, I guess I have one question. If I could ask Mr. Albright one question before we tabled it. Can't the committee right now, because I thought we discussed this, the committee can do a scoring. I mean, this is how we discussed it for a long time. They can do a scoring infrastructure, however they want to set it up. We don't need to actually build it into the ordinance.
Councilmember DeMonico, city administration is requesting that that system be added to the ordinance, and it'll also then be part of the applications and other materials that are provided to all the applicants, but it will be codified in the ordinance. And again, that's going to be in section 10-230. I will be able to circulate a copy of those proposed changes, which show the current ordinance, the cross out sections, and also the new sections in red, which will bring the ordinance, the city's ordinance, in line with current Michigan law, and also adding for a scoring component, which is then provided for further in section 10-230. In fact, I can circulate a copy of that ordinance to the city council after this evening's meeting.
Sounds good.
Madam Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
Really quick too, actually, we're going to discuss this for 1 second. I would also at our next meeting, maybe like to get a timeline from administration on when we are going to be starting to accept applications, because I would like to maybe try to set some sort of timeline so we can get this process going, because I feel like we've been dealing with this medical marijuana for a very, very long time. So,
right, I agree. Any other additions to this medical marijuana ordinance that you want to add or suggest for our attorney? So when he gets all this stuff together, he'll have it ready for us for our next meeting.
I would, Madam Mayor, I just would add that I have a ton of questions about it, but I respect Sarah's motion to table, and if that's a motion, I will support that motion to table and until the next meeting, until the next regular meeting.
Okay. Well, it's been tabled. We're going to move right along to payroll and bills. Council.
Madam Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
Just if we can get a roll call on the table.
On the table.
Yeah.
You want a motion? The motion on the floor?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's motion.
Motion on the floor to table.
Support.
Right?
Yeah, the motion was to table.
We get support on that?
I supported it. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. We have motion and support. Please call the roll. Thank you.
Councilmember Lucido?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Councilmember Moore?
Yes.
Mayor Owens?
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico?
Yes.
Next item is payroll and bills. Council.
Madam Mayor, I will motion to pay the bills in the amount of $1,532,259.07.
Support.
Motion and support. Please call the roll. Councilmember Lucido?
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico?
Yes.
Mayor Owens?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Councilmember Moore?
Yes.
Next item on the agenda is hearing of the public. This is a time where everyone gets 3 minutes to speak and voice their opinion and or their ideas. At this time, the council, let's open the hearing of the public. Mayor, we have Miss Mary Hall Rayford that would like to speak. Okay, good evening, Ms. Rayford. Hold on one second, let me get the timer. I'm ready when you are.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I just wanted to encourage everyone to think about the benefits of a unified community. In watching the hearing for this past week, much can be accomplished when a community is unified, more so than any division that's created within it. So I encourage everyone to find ways, seek people to help bring about unity in our community of Eastpointe. Thank you.
Thank you. I think Ms. Rayford just changed our whole logo of unity in the community instead of a family town. So thank you for saying that. Anybody else? I do not see any hands raised. Oh, someone just came into the meeting. She's connecting to audio. I'm not sure if she's here for hearing of the public. Ms. Gladney, we're in hearing of the public. Did you wish to speak? Not getting anything from her, and I don't see anything from the chat. Okay.
Excuse me. I was not able to raise my hand. Can I speak?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, my name is Cindy Federley, longtime Eastpointe resident. With the 9 mile changes that are going to be planned, I saw something on a show today about the Wyandotte social district that was created. And I wonder if any of the council people or residents have seen it. It looks like something that we could maybe use some of their ideas. They had a section of their downtown where people can walk around and they can eat outside, and it looked pretty nice. That was just my input about the 9 mile changes. Thank you.
Thank you. I think me and council have, and our economic developer have tried to work on something like that. So I think that's in the master plan that we were looking into, but we have to look at city as a city in the distance and how our city is made. It's an old city, how it was made. We have to talk to AEW and get our planning and our planners out here to do those things. But I believe some of the things that you've seen, Miss Cindy, I don't know how to pronounce your last name and I don't want to mess it up, but those are some things that we talked about in the past, and you bring it up is something that we probably have to look into the future with that. Ms. Doom, what she just said, if you can document that and take a look at it.
I certainly can, and I can also add that I'm very familiar with the city of Wyandotte. I haven't been down there lately, of course, with COVID, who's been anywhere lately? But I will make a drive down there this weekend and just take a good look and see what they're working on, what they're improving over what they've had in the years gone past. So to me, there's nothing like laying eyes on a project rather than reading about it. So I will make a trip down there, which is not far, with my family being downriver. So thank you, Ms. Federley. I'll take a good look at it and I'll give a report back to our economic development manager and we'll put our heads together and take a drive out ourselves.
All right, sounds good. And or contact them from that city and talk to their economic developer and see how did they, work that out and did they get a grant for that or whatever. You know what to do, Ms. Doom. You've been doing this for a long time. So again, thank you everyone for and the hearing of the public for participating. Do we have any more that want to speak at this time?
I do not see any hands raised, Mayor, and there's nothing in the chat.
Okay. Thank you. Now the hearing of the public is now closed. We are going to mayor and council reports, starting with Councilman Crowley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I attended the Library Commission meeting, and as Richard said, they voted for the 1 mil, and that will be on the ballot in November. It's been 1 mil for many, many years. It helps sustain our terrific library. They also passed the budget tonight, and that budget will be sent over to City Hall tomorrow. And once again, I want to talk real quickly about your returnable bottles and cans. Now, listen up. If you have a bag of bottles and cans, you might have $2 or $3, maybe. That's if you get that to the library, they're going to be able to use that a lot better than you can, because a bag of returnables of $3 times hundreds of people taking that over to the library, they're going to be able to buy periodicals and a lot of books for the kids. So please, please, please take your bottles and cans over there. The other thing, and maybe Randy knows about this, but our Congressman, Andy Levin, along with Congressman Jack Reed of Rhode Island, has introduced a bill called the Build America's Libraries Act. And once it goes through the whole process in Washington and gets passed, it will be a bill worth $5 billion. Now, obviously, and Randy, if you know anything about this, just raise your hand so I know that you do. But if not, we'll find out very shortly how much of that $5 billion will be spent. And that's pretty much all for infrastructure. And we just talked for months about HVAC over there. And wouldn't that be grand if we got a good amount and that was able to pay for that? And maybe if we need a new roof or a new sidewalk, whatever. So I just want to thank Jack Reed of Rhode Island and Andy Levin for introducing that bill, and hopefully that won't take that long. A couple of years ago, Carol and I went over to the zoo at Christmas time and seen all the decorations. And in the middle of the park, they had a giant globe. And in that globe, they were playing Let There Be Peace on Earth and Let It Begin With Me. Very touching. A lot of people were standing around that actually singing the song. You know what it is. And I guess I would just ask the people, we can bring priests throughout the world if we practice it. And I'm talking about violence instead of peace. I'm talking about the terrible things and the nasty things that come out of our mouth. If we would kind of stop that individually, it'd be like pebbles in the ocean. And I guess in closing, Madam Mayor, I guess the best thing I can recommend to all of us is that if we just obeyed the 2 great commandments that you read in the Bible, love the Lord with all your heart and all your mind and all your strength, and love your neighbor as you love yourself. Those 2 commandments alone, if we all obeyed those, how much better this world would be. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Councilwoman Moore.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. At this point, I don't have much. I just repeat what I spoke about during the special meeting, which is anyone who has been fully vaccinated. Office Depot right now, they're laminating vaccination cards. They're not laminating your original, but they're making a copy of it and laminating it for you, because I do believe that at some time in life, those cards, we'll have to pull them out, you know, quite frequently. So having a laminated one would be great. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Councilman DeMonico.
Thanks, Mayor. Geez, it's only 7:45. I'm gonna have to take my time on this. No, just
7:45. Oh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, and speaking, Councilman Curley, they might be doing that zoo event at the that Christmas event at the zoo today, maybe, you know. And if I take my returnables back to the library, just don't judge me for the amount of beer cans that'd be in the returnables.
No, so as long as I can get a dime out of it, Cardi, that'd be fine.
Let's see, Miss Federley, about the social districts. I think it is a very neat thing. I think Governor Whitmer just signed that like last July. I'll have to check out Wyandottes, but Mount Clemens is also doing one, and it's definitely, I think, something we should consider for 9 Mile somewhere. Hopefully we could fit something like that in. The social district is like an area where you can outdoors consume alcoholic beverages, you know, just be a confined area. And typically it's just like around, you know, a bunch of restaurants and bars and that sort of thing it was built for. So maybe we can have a small little area somewhere, like in the DDA or something like that to do that. But I hope we can investigate that a bit. Oh, my background here today is the Mars rover Perseverance and it's on this side, it's backwards to me. The helicopter Ingenuity, which I'm sure most of you saw. I think it was super early on Monday. It flew on Mars, first time humans ever flew something on another planet. So that was really exciting to see. Got to catch a video of it. The video came back to Earth now. It's pretty neat, so check that out. And then on Sunday, I'll be doing a road cleanup in Eastpointe. If you're free, meet us somewhere between 11 and 3 on 8 Mile and Gratiot, basically, just east of Gratiot there. There's a vacant parking lot there. We'll just park in and pick up litter. We'll be doing like the 8 Mile median and some other areas. I'm working with a group called Green Michigan. They're doing them all over Macomb County. I did one in Clinton Township and one in Warren over the weekend also. Speaking of Andy Levin, one of them was with Congressman Levin, Mr. Curley. And yeah, if you can just spare an hour, definitely don't have to stay the whole time, 11 to 3. Just come at like 11, 12, 1, 2 if you can. And yeah, that'll be nice. Clean up. You know, we always see a lot of litter after the snow hits, or the snow melts, I should say. And then if you're free on Saturday, if Sunday doesn't work, Saturday, the Urban Seed's doing a cleanup. They're doing it 10 to 3. So if you can help out, that's right across from the fire station. Help them out. Maybe you can rent a bed out also and grow some vegetables or whatnot. And I think, let's see. No, I gotta fill some more time in here. If we can, Mayor, actually, we've got some openings, you know, for the ZBA was mentioned, and beautification needs 4 members. You know, if we can, since they're nominated, you know, they got to be nominated by you. If we can put them on an agenda soon, that'd be helpful. Beautification can't have more than 1, you know, member missing right now, or it doesn't have quorum. And I think that's about it. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Okay, thank you. And some of those events, can you give it to the city manager so she can post it on our website and Facebook about the cleanup and the Urban Seed event? And then we can also put it in the median so we can know. I think some of the things you said, a lot of residents aren't, you know, on this Zoom, but a lot of them are on Facebook and our website, and they want to participate. And so we want to make sure they're, you know, if they can't make it to the meeting, they're still engaged and welcome. So I think those are like 2 or 3 events. So Ms. Dome, if you can get with
Mr. DeMonico, and we can, you know, expand, you know, that marketing on our website and things like that. I think that will help. Going to our Councilwoman Lucido.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So first of all, some exciting news. The Arts and Cultural Diversity Commission has partnered again with the DIA. And this summer, they're going to be, the city of Eastpointe will be receiving some reproductions of artwork throughout the city. It's called their In and Out project. So that's really exciting to bring some more art to the community. Also, I would just like to take a moment to thank the Macomb County Ministerial Alliance and Love Life Church for thinking of us as elected officials and our police and our fire and all of our first responders and all of our residents, and doing a very nice like prayer service for them for all of us yesterday. It was really a nice event. And I will see Councilman DeMonico this weekend because I do plan on attending the cleanup. So thank you for setting that up for Eastpointe. As always, you kind of spearhead that. I think it'd be great if this is something we could maybe start scheduling like once a month in the summer months to have a cleanup. I think it'd be a fantastic idea because there's always a ton of trash that needs to be picked up. And other than that, I have nothing else this evening, Mayor.
Thank you so much. I was invited, and I invite you all too. The county executive invited me to join him at the All God's People Church that's located in Roseville this Thursday at 9:30 a.m. They will begin hosting a FEMA-supported vaccination clinic designed to increase community outreach for vaccination. This is something me and him talked about probably a month or two ago, and talking about how we can bring some vaccinations to the city of Eastpointe. But since we're so close to Roseville, he already set up somewhere where it was a location where it was big enough to house, you know, a lot of residents there from both cities, neighboring communities. So this is where I'll be this Thursday, and hopefully you can be too if you haven't been vaccinated. So we don't have to go all around and try to find vaccinations. It's right here in our neighboring city. Also, I was at the Capitol today speaking on some bills and voter suppression. And, you know, I'm an advocate for, you know, making sure that people have the necessities and the resources to continue to empower them. And so me and a couple elected officials and mayors from all over the state of Michigan, also the governor, I'll be in a meeting with her and some other elected officials tomorrow talking about what we talked about today at the Capitol. And I'm just so excited to be able to represent Eastpointe and letting people know that as a representative of Eastpointe and as the mayor of Eastpointe, that we believe in making sure people have the power to vote. And so saying that and going there, I want to thank everybody for coming in tonight. I know it's snowy, be careful, stay blessed and get vaccinated if that's what you choose to do. But if you don't choose to do it, that's on you. But just stay safe and keep your mouth covered up and just be safe all around. So I am done with my report tonight. And can I get a motion of adjournment, please?
So moved.
Support.
Motion and support. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley.
Oh, yes.
Councilmember Lucido.
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico.
Yes.
Councilmember Moore.
Yes.
And Mayor Owen.
Yes. Meeting adjourned. Everyone have a good night.
Hey, Sarah, don't forget 45.
Yes, 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 yes.
Another
Everyone
one.
have a good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
I'm going to, because I'm going to have a good night because just thinking about what you have to pay me. Oh.